Time for business news next on the program, and we can go across to Vivatech. That's taking place here in the French capital. French President Emmanuel Macron and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will both be visiting the forum this afternoon, both holding up and defending the concept of tech sovereignty, especially in the face of dominance of U.S. tech giants. France 24's business editor Charles Pellegrin is standing by, and we can go across to him now at Vivatech. Charles, over to you.
Hi, Delano. Yes, I'm here with Olivier Dufour, a French entrepreneur whose latest venture, BeeAlp, is looking to make a truly circular smartphone entirely made in Europe. So tech sovereignty really front and center here. Olivier, thanks for being with us. We in Europe, we all have smartphones. We're quite happy with them, from Apple, from Samsung, etc. What's the need for a European smartphone?
Well, you know, Charles, all those smartphones, the hardware is coming from Asia, the software is coming from the US, and you know, we've got plans on AI, semiconductors, and so on. 80% of the market on semiconductors is smartphone. 66% of the data that we input is input on a smartphone. If you don't control the smartphone, how can you control the upper supply chain?
Another aspect of this project you're launching here, you're seeking investors here at Vivatech, is that you're doing it in a subscription model. Why did you choose a subscription model particularly?
Yeah, it's better for a number of reasons. The first one is competitiveness. Instead of buying a smartphone that is like 800 or 1,000 euros, you're basically paying every month for 25 euros. So it's a better value for money. When you're done with that smartphone, we recover it. And on our side, we're going to extract the money throughout the life cycle of the product. So it's a substantial margin. So it's good for us in terms of competitiveness. It's value for money and a great associated service.
Later this afternoon, the French President Emmanuel Macron will be walking around Vivatech with Narendra Modi. If he happens to walk by your stand here, what would you ask him? What would be the first thing that comes to mind?
Well, you know, India is a great example of how they were able to reshore smartphone production. 99% of the products of the smartphones sold in India are actually manufactured in India. I would say, just do the same. Attract, you know, maybe Chinese investors, start the transfer of technology so that we can build the same dark factories here in Europe, you know, and acquire that knowledge that we've transferred 20 or 30 years ago to them.
Before this BeeAlp venture, you were one of the co-founders of European French electric vehicle battery maker Verkor. You had some success with that. What have you learned from that experience that could be applied to building a European sovereign smartphone? How will you make this a success?
Well, we can see it's a very different sector, and batteries for electric vehicles, it's a question of sovereignty as well, but it's B2B, whereas here we're in B2C. What I can see is that there is a fundamental trend of Europeans to have access to products and services that are designed and manufactured locally. So we just answer the need. Once we've said that, those products need to have high value for money. They need to be competitive, they need to be sexy, they need to be, people just don't buy them because they're Europeans, they buy them because they're good value for money. So this is really the understanding and the most important point.
How do you make sure the environment allows for this kind of product to come about? What do you need for the French tech ecosystem in order to achieve this?
Well, our product comes out of the box. All the French ecosystem is mainly around deep tech and innovation. Our innovation is more on the business model, not on the product itself. And so the ecosystem needs to adjust to this sort of new project, because basically we're not going to reindustrialize France or Europe just through deep tech. Okay, so new business models are necessary, and the ecosystem needs to support them.
What's the experience been like at Vivatech over the past couple of days? Have you felt like that there's a lot of interest for what you're doing?
Yeah, the three main objectives were first to look for investors. We've got a crowd equity campaign running, and we've gathered like a lot of interest yesterday and this morning. So we have 2.5 days to go. The second is to talk to clients. We talk to B2C, like students who react to our offer, the prices, the specs, and so on, but also like big fleets of corporate buyers, so it's extremely interesting. The last thing is that we have access, the French Tech is right around the corner, so we have access to those stakeholders who shape the economy, who shape the industry, and that's really exciting as well. There are some good conversations taking place.
One last question before I let you go. What do you say to people who, when they hear even the idea of a European smartphone, we saw Nokia failed, we saw so many people fail at this first, why would you succeed?
Exactly the same as Vercor. Everybody told us at the beginning it was impossible. Well, that's why I started this adventure. It's the purpose of an entrepreneur to do impossible things. And we're going to show them that it's possible. It's not easy, but it is possible.
Olivier Dufour, you are the CEO and co-founder of BeeAlp. Thank you for speaking with us on France 24. And on that, I'm throwing it back to you in the studio, Delano.
Thank you very much.
Charles, thank you very much for that. Charles Pellegrin there, reporting from Vivatech here in Paris.